Well, hello everyone, I'm Larry and you're watching St. Nick's Farms on YouTube, and it's a rainy day here in northwest Alabama. So I'm on the inside today, down in the barn or shop, whichever, sometimes I refer to it in different ways. But what I'm working on is wiring in the Grizzly planer that I bought here recently. Of course, this is not a new planer. Jeannie asked me a few days ago, said, does it run? And honestly, I couldn't answer her question because I've not heard it run. But the gentleman that I bought it from, I respect very highly, and he assured me that everything was in good working order on the planer. So we're going to get it wired in today. I'm going ahead and wiring it in here in the shop. I can open this door at the rear of this room, and with the doors open at the front, I can run a long board through the planer. So for now, I'm going ahead and just wiring in so that I can plug it in here where my table saw usually sits. I can roll the table saw forward or completely out of the way and roll the Grizzly into place, and with it plugged in and the door opened, I should be able to plane without any problem. So this is a 20 amp motor on this planer. So I'm running 12-2 wire with the ground to an outlet on this pole here, and I'll run it up and over and across and to the other side of the barn or the shop, and hook it into the breaker panel over there with a 20 amp breaker. So that's what we're working on. Let's get started. If you like the video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up. That's very important. Don't forget to share it with a friend. If you're new to the channel today, coming through for the first time, please, if you're watching it on your phone, I think there's a subscribe. It's on one of the sides, a little subscribe button, and if you would subscribe, if you're watching it on your TV at home, be sure to go up and hit the subscribe there. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and get everything cleared off this pole. This is a support post for the building, and I'm going to mount the plug-in on this support post. So let's get everything cleared off and out of the way so we can determine just exactly where we're going to put everything. It's going to really be nice whenever I am able to get the new building completed. I've just run out of room in this building to put things and to get things out of my way. I'm going to go ahead and prepare the box that the plug-in will go in. There we have it. I'm going to mount this plug 15 inches up this post off the floor. The box is 4 inches, so I'll go ahead and mark the top of it 19 inches. A couple of 1.5 inch screws will be sufficient to mount this box. I'm going to see if I can thread this through these already existing holes that I have in the floor joist here. Here I'm getting ready to tie the wiring into the breaker panel box, taking the panel box cover off, and I'll be changing out the breaker. I've got a breaker in here that's got some old electric heaters that's in the wall of the shop run to it, and it's a 30 amp breaker. Places. And so I'm going to be changing it out and putting in a new 20 amp breaker, and I'll be running the wiring for the planer to this 20 amp breaker, running 12-2 wire into the 20 amp breaker. Okay, I've got the wire all stripped and got it positioned. In fact, I've already connected the neutral in place, and I'm getting ready now to disconnect the old breaker that goes to the electric heater, and now getting ready to snap it out of position. And it was, I guess because it had been in here for some time, it was really difficult to get out, and maybe you could see a little bit of the difficulty in getting that breaker removed. Here I'm about to install the new 20 amp breaker, and I'll get it wired in. There'll be 2 legs, the black and white wire of the 12-2 cabling that will be attached to both sides of this breaker, and we'll go ahead and get that wired in now. Okay, that pretty much completes the wiring inside the breaker panel box. I've got the new breaker installed, got it all wired in, got the wire up into the panel box through a connector, and got the neutral connected okay on the neutral side, and got the two legs of the 240 volt connected to the new breaker. So that completes all the connections inside the breaker panel box. I just left those wires that was going to the heaters in the shop. I left them in the breaker panel box, but here I'm going ahead and putting some wire nuts on the end just in case I ever did want to wire the heaters back in, which I don't think I will, but I did leave them, and I did put wire nuts on the end of the wires just for safety purposes. Here we are back over in the other side of the shop now, where the planer actually is going to be, or is. I've got the wire. You saw me put the reset box in earlier. Got the wire run to it, got it stapled in place, getting it all stripped and ready to install the receptacle, the 240 volt receptacle for the planer to plug into. This is a 30 amp, yes, it is a 30 amp twist type receptacle, 3-prong. Getting it ready now to install, just checking it out, see exactly how everything goes in place, and getting the wires stripped, get them ready to put on the receptacle and get it installed inside the box, and then we'll be ready to see what the planer does. Putting a little bit of a bend in the wires so that they'll go around the terminals easier whenever, as you can see here, how I slide it under the terminal and take the needle nose pliers and give it a little bit of a bend on around the terminal, and then we'll tighten it up and everything will be fixed and in place, and we'll get the receptacle inserted inside the box and fastened into place. Everything is connected tight, getting ready to put the receptacle into the box, get it secured, get the cover on it, plug the planer in and give it a try. Okay, now I've got the receptacle installed. I'll get the cover in place, a couple of screws that holds the cover, get it in place, and all the wiring will be completed for the planer. Okay, that gets the cover. Let's get the planer plugged back in now, and then we'll go over and turn the breaker on to the planer, and then we'll see what happens. Well, wouldn't you know it, the battery died on my GoPro after I mashed the record button, and I didn't get the original shot of me originally starting the planer up, but here is a shot of the planer in operation, and on this shot I had changed the battery in the GoPro. However, I did not have the battery changed in the DJI microphone, and it had gone dead, and so I didn't get any sound. But as you can see here, the planer is doing an excellent job. Does really well. It worked really well. It fired right up when I mashed the button. You can see over on the left, far left side, there's a little red button, and that's the emergency kill button. And then right above it is the start or on button for the planer. Well, the question Jenny asked has been answered. Yes, the Grizzly planer does run, and actually does a really good job on just this little piece of 2x4 that we ran through here a few minutes ago. Still got some adjusting to do. I've got to lubricate some, but all in all, I am pleased with the way it has turned out. Got the electrical all wired in okay. Ran it on a separate circuit from the breaker box over in the other side of the building, and it is 240 volt. The motor, the manual says on the motor that it's a 20 amp, so the plug-in on the end of the planer was actually a 30 amp plug-in, and it was the screw type. So I had originally purchased a 20 amp receptacle to go in the box here. Had to go back and exchange that for a 30 amp because I didn't want to replace the plug on the end of the cable from the planer itself. I decided to just go ahead and up the receptacle to the 30 amp receptacle, which is a little bit larger than the 20 amp, and so the plug for the planer would not go into the 20 amp receptacle, so I had to go back and exchange it for a 30 amp, and I think that's okay. We've got it on a 20 amp breaker, and I think that'll be sufficient. Again, the motor, the manual says that the motor is 20 amp. I did some research, and it indicated that a 12-2 with the ground wire not running over 50 feet. In fact, it mentioned 100 feet would be sufficient to run the cabling over through the building to the receptacle here. So that's what we did. We ran 12-2 with the ground. And again, I went ahead and I've got it plugged in through this 30 amp receptacle, and again, it's got the 30 amp plug-in on it. Everything seems to work fine. So we'll wrap this video up. Thank you so much for joining us here on St. Nick's Farms. I really do appreciate it. When we do get a little bit more into the planer use of the planer, then we'll probably have a special video just about the planer itself and the operation, and I'll show you some more work being done, planing being done with the planer. So until next time, folks, this is Larry. I hope you have a great one. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.